Hey guys, MasaeAnela here, and welcome back to another episode of The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. In the last episode, we finished off the majority of Stone Tower Temple, and in this episode, we're going to be facing off against the boss. And also, I had some pretty bad derps here and there. Yeah, we're not talking about that anymore. But anyway, what we want to do is head through this door on the morning of the final day. And that brings us to this room. This should look pretty familiar, except now, if we look up, we have a treasure chest that pulls us out from behind the edge. Jump over that, get dropped down, and here we have the boss's door and a Beamos. Can't forget about this Beamos over here, just kind of chilling. He's having a time, isn't he? Hey, man. Yeah. Oh, I know that you all probably want to help me, but please don't smash into my face and draw blood. There we go. We're all suited up. It's time to head in. I'm gonna miss this music. Oh, looking down into this pit, it is really freaking colorful. Look at that. I love that entrance. That is so cool. I actually didn't want to take a picture of it, but that's a pretty cool picture, so I will keep it. Let's jump on in. The giant masked insect, Twinmold. Twinmold is very different. Look closely. There's something that looks like an eye in the joints of its body. Try aiming for it carefully. One will kind of just fly around and ignore you. The other one will make your life miserable. This red guy is a freaking jerk. He will do everything that he can to freaking destroy you. And it's pretty bad! Well, yeah, I just got steamrolled. Thankfully, magic is here and is plentiful. You probably won't be running out anytime soon. You can run up to him and hit him with your sword, but you can also just shoot it with the light arrow from afar. In fact, that might actually be the better way of going about it, because trucking against the sand is very difficult and slow, and chances are he might just get back up before, you know, you have a chance to get over there. Also, these pots regenerate. At least the green ones do. Oh, the brown ones do too. So honestly, you really don't need to worry about your freaking. You really don't need to worry about running out of supplies. Where the frick? My goodness, he is obnoxious. Now we have more eyes to worry about. Okay, we just need to keep an eye on Mr. Red here. Hey Red, you're kind of a jerk, did you know that? Didn't your mom ever tell you not to bully little kids? Especially not when they're pretty much the size of a pea? Yeah, check out that aim. Sharpshooter Masae is on point, except I'm getting pelted into the ground. There we go. Ooh, yes, please. Heart. Okay. Honestly, the bunny hood might serve us well here, but one more shot and he is down. And for taking him out, we get an extra prize. To those of you who are confused about why we didn't get a certain item earlier on in the dungeon, well, let's pop open this treasure chest and get ourselves the Giant's Mask. Within this mask lies the might of a giant. Could this give you the courage to face gigantic enemies? All right. Except now, Mr. Red is extremely angry. He's extremely angry. And Mr. Red is a Mrs. Red, apparently, because she has laid a bunch of babies. Right, she lays babies. Okay, well, yikes, that thing's fierce in the sky, and now on top of that, we have these little weirdos to deal with, too. Why can't we catch a break? Yeah, you scream, Link, you scream. So, for dealing with these guys, we have the Giant's Mask now, a mask that uses powerful magic to turn its wearer into a giant. You can only use it in a certain room. Gee, I wonder what room that is. I'm going to bust this open, and get steamrolled again. Kinda would like to have max magic for this because when we put it on, this is so cool, I'm so excited about this. When we put it on, we are gradually draining our magic. However, we are freaking hulking! Look at this! Have you heard of Vulcans? Well, we are freaking hulking! I'm so happy about this. This is so cool to me. I love the thought of Link just growing into this gigantic being and slamming his fists into everything. This is so cool to me. If it isn't abundantly clear by now, this is probably the one boss change that I am absolutely supportive of. I love this fight in this version. It's a little bit basic now because look, we punch him as much as we can, and from there we go to his tail, grab it, and we get to watch him swing him into the ground. Check that out. That's so cool to me. Okay. Yes, that part is a little bit basic because it's pretty much a game of dodge and hit because you have to get out of the way of the fireballs, make sure that he's not coming at you, and, you know, just all around you're having a hard time moving in this position. I just find this a lot more exciting than what we did in the N64 version. Honestly, you know, thinking back to that, neither of them really felt like they cared at all. Like, you saw how the blue one was just kind of minding its own business, not really doing much of anything? They both did that in the original, and you just honestly pretty much beat up on them while they just kind of derped around you. To me, it wasn't terribly exciting, and it was really easy. But in this one, you just freaking slam your fists into everything, and it's actually a pretty decent challenge. Look at that, I'm taking a decent amount of damage just from trying to manage myself here. But yes, I can understand if it's like a little bit overwhelming, or like if fighting this boss like this is a little bit kind of cheap because it's kind of hard to dodge him at first. And I can understand that that's a little bit frustrating, but I greatly prefer this because it actually feels like I'm fighting. And plus, Mr. Red or Mrs. Red gets super angry when you take out its mate, and that's kind of sad too. It takes quite a few rounds to actually bring it down too. Also, I love how they have you just freaking slamming your fists into everything instead of just being a bigger size of yourself. Like, the model is different. Look, my arms are gigantic, the animation is different. In the N64 version, it wasn't terribly different. You still had your sword, you still had everything, you didn't punch anything. In this one, you have so much more, I don't know if I want to say personality, because all it really gets you to do is punch the ground and like and swing yourself around like a madman, but still, I just find this a lot more interactive and a lot more unique of a fight compared to before. Now, I think it only has one more cycle in it. By the way, this is interactable too. You can pick this up and like freaking sling it at him. It does do damage. I don't know if it's... Oh, that actually took him down. Sweet. Grab this. And I think... Yes! Down he goes. She goes. It's a she. Oh man, I'm almost sad to leave this fight because I just freaking love hulking out as Link. Take that, you stupid bug! For all those earwigs that creep me out in the middle of the night. Well, now that we're shrunken back down to size, it's time to get ourselves our next heart container. With that, we only have 2 to go. You can just grab some extra magic before we head out, you know. Fill her up. You seized Twinmold's remains. In doing so, you freed the innocent spirit that was imprisoned within this dark mask. Well, we've helped all of you. That's all we can do. Call us. That's what they're saying. Without being told, we understand. So now you'll help us out in exchange. We'll call you from atop the clock tower. So do something about him, all right? What? Their voices sound sad. You don't want to? Forgive your friend. Forgive our friend? What do you mean by forgive? Huh? What friend? And with that, we've cleansed the area and purged all of the undead. Look at that. Well, technically the Gibdos were already gone because, you know, we had the Gibdo song going. But still, if we come here at night, the blue bubbles will no longer be around in the area. So that's pretty cool. It's like an immediate change in the land of the dead, etc. We just have the stupid Gways. Too bad they weren't purged along with all this stuff. Death to Gways! Ha, he shriveled. Alright, well we have done it. We have finished Stone Tower Temple. And since we got all 15 stray fairies, we can claim our reward. This is the Fairies Fountain, and holy moly, this looks so freaking regal. Here we go. All back together. Oh, compassionate young one, I am the Great Fairy of Kindness. Thank you for returning my broken and shattered body to normal. As thanks, I grant you the Great Fairy Sword. With black roses etched into it, the Great Fairy Sword is the most powerful of all blades. You found all the stray fairies in the Stone Tower Temple and revived the Great Fairy of Kindness, who gave you the Great Fairy Sword. Come see me whenever you are overcome by weariness. Oh boy, guys. Oh boy. For the last Great Fairy, she sure gave us quite the finishing item. So this sword is different. It's not really an item so much as it is a sword. I mean, it is a sword and it also is an item. The most powerful sword has black roses etched into its blade. We're gonna attach it there, and now watch this. You guys thought the razor sword was broken, right? Look at how freaking wide that razor sword is, and you know how fast this thing kills, right? Watch this. Look at that. Look at that freaking reach. It's a two-handed sword, so we can't use our shield with it. But who the frick cares? Look at that. And it does like a ginormous amount of damage. It does much more than the razor sword itself. So like, if you want to take something out fast, this is absolutely the way to do it. In fact, in the next episode, we're actually going to be putting this to the test. Because there's a certain side quest that has us fighting some things, and I think that'll be a good way of putting this through a test run. I will say though that I don't think I'm actually going to be using this regularly. It's actually so good that I kind of consider it a little bit cheap. You'll see what I mean in the next episode. So, I will see you guys then. Die! Stupid bird! Freaking get the frick out! MasaeAnela out.